Okay, so I got a new tablet because my other one broke down. It got really laggy and I couldn't figure out how to get it rebooted to the original uh, standards it came with. It's been quite a while since I last saw you guys, and my voice just cracked. So, hi everybody, I am Terry, for those that don't know who I am. I haven't been on in a long time, mainly because I just haven't been in the headspace to vlog, and I didn't want to vlog the exact same thing over and over again and make it super boring. I am on here to update kind of what my situation was a few months back. For those of you that do know, I was on disability benefits up until November 2019. In September 2019, I got a letter stating that after the redetermination, that they decided that I was no longer disabled, which was always something that I knew was a possibility, and the redetermination period always brought my anxiety to like 210%, because I was always fearful that they would at some point say that I wasn't disabled anymore, even though I have tons of medical records stating that I am, like this. All of this stuff. And all of this. So I've got 3 binders of medical records pertaining to all of the things that I have been diagnosed with since I was born, and they still say that I'm not disabled. Of course, we all know that we have this whole pandemic COVID thing. I try not to bring it up too much because it's just been there, done that. It's like, I mean, I'm not trying to say, well, I'm not going to say any more about it, because nothing I say is going to be positive or negative. But we've all been dealing with this health issue thing. We've lost a lot of people, but there I go again saying something that I'm not going to want to say. So all of my appointments are telehealth appointments. I'm getting off track, sorry. I got in touch with Social Security after I got the notification. They gave me all the paperwork that they said I needed to in order to appeal the decision. I did all of that. I made copies, mailed it all in. They never got it. I called them again a while later to give them time to supposedly find the missing paperwork and process it. To which they replied, "Are you sure you sent it in?" Yeah, I know I sent it in because I have the proof. I sent them the proof. They still can't find it. That was last year. And me calling and going back and forth with various workers after they had completely shut down and they were working from home, I kept calling and asking for updates. You do realize we're working from home because of the COVID pandemic? I'm like, yes, sir, I know. I was just wondering if you had any updated information on my case status. And they said, are you sure you sent paperwork in? Once again, they asked me that. And once again, I said, yes, I am sure that I sent paperwork into you guys. I expedited it to you guys in order to get it in on time. They still can't find it. Fast track to exactly a year later, give or take a few days. I call and I told them a whole backstory on how it's taken me a whole year to figure out what my status is. I had looked up on the Social Security website, and it said that you could ask for an expedited reinstatement of your disability benefits. And so I asked for that. The guy said, let me put you on hold. He comes back and says, oh, you're not eligible for it. You have to start over from the very beginning with a new application. And I'm like, well, why do I have to start over with a new application? Because your website doesn't say anything about having to be eligible for the expedited reinstatement. It just says that you have up to 6 years from the date of your denial to get an expedited reinstatement or ask for it. And he's like, oh, it's like a case-by-case basis. You have to be eligible for it, and you're not eligible. So I started a whole new application over, and I was just like, I hung up with him as best I could, because I was really, really frustrated and upset and angry, and I'm getting upset at the moment, and I'm trying to keep my emotions in check. I reapplied for Social Security. They just sent me paperwork at the beginning of January. I think it was the 11th of January. And I read through the instructions a couple dozen times, and I was slowly filling it out. And I get a letter in the mail from them saying, we haven't received your paperwork. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I didn't realize that there was a time frame. So I went back to look at my paperwork, and in the fine print, which is very sneaky of them because they want to make everything as difficult as possible for you. In between the bold and the italic and the fine print and everything, it says you have 10 days from the day that you get this letter to fill out the paperwork and send it back. Well, I sent it back 3 days late, with a sticky note and another note stating that I had read and reread the instructions and had not seen that fine print must be back within 10 days of the date on the paper. So I'm hoping that they got it back, and that the fact that they sent me a reminder will still have them accept the paperwork. I'm assuming it is because my mom called me and said that they had sent her a letter to talk with them. So she's like, don't call me for a few days, like within the business days, like Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because I need to keep it open in case this person calls me back. And the thing with my mom is she's a narcissist, and she fixates on one topic. I was born at 2 pounds, and I have a perception communication disability and some minor learning disabilities, and she's fixating on just that. For my disability, and I have to try and like gently remind her, it's just not the learning disability, it's the lupus, it's the bradycardia, it's the cancer gene that I have, it's the anxiety and the depression and the PTSD as well. We're not just they're not just focusing on one area. They're focusing on the whole application of what I have submitted. So I was like, please be aware of that. Answer everything to the best of your abilities, even though you don't know my lupus background as well as other people do. That's one thing that I'm waiting on as a disability. In September 2020, I signed up for the disability benefits, and shortly after that, I applied through the Human Services Division for cash assistance, which is the adult financial, which gives you a $220 stipend every month to pay your rent and your utilities and any of your basic needs. I got approved for that. In December, they sent me a letter stating that they needed a bank statement. I sent the bank statement in, and the day that they got it, they sent me a letter saying that I was denied my cash assistance because they didn't get the paperwork. I mean, I'm just going to use this as a reference. They asked for a bank statement. A bank statement's like, 2 pages, maybe even 1, depending on how much money you have in the bank, and I don't really have anything. It was like 1 page that they had to process. It's February 1st, and I sent it in on the 14th of December. They sent me a letter saying that I've been denied my cash assistance. I've been on the phone on a week, every 10 days, asking them what the status is, because on the online account, it says that my account was closed and that it's needing verification needed, which they have that. And you're like, oh, well, let me send an email to my supervisor. Let's see if we can get this processed so you can get your cash assistance. It's been going on almost, on February 14th, it'll be 2 months that I've been waiting for this cash assistance. This 1 piece of paper. 2 months for them to process 1 piece of paper for me to be able to pay my rent and everything. It still hasn't been done. I've told them, I've talked to, I don't know how many people in the past 2 months, and they all say the same thing. Well, it says here that you have paperwork from the 7th and the 14th of December. We'll get that processed as soon as we can. Please understand that we're getting hundreds of thousands of applications every single day, and there's only a limited amount of us. I'm like, yeah, I understand that, but it's 1 piece of paper. I was already getting cash assistance benefits, and you can't just process 1 piece of paper. It would take you maybe 10 minutes, maybe not even 10 minutes, to process it and give me the cash benefits that I need to live off of while I wait for Social Security disability. Well, I get notifications from my Peak account. You have new communications in your Peak account. So I'm like, oh, they finally got my cash assistance going. No. They just updated my food stamp benefits. Because I was getting $100, like $99 a month. And then it bumped up to $140 or 130 or something like that. And I got another notification, oh, it's gone up to 204. And I just got another notification last week, your food stamp benefits have gone up to $250 or 200 and something dollars. So, what they're trying to do is they're trying to compensate by not giving me the cash assistance by bumping up my food stamps. One, the rule with food stamps is that you cannot sell food stamps. And if you're caught selling food stamps, you could lose your food stamp benefits completely or something, which I'm not about to do. But how in the heck am I going to pay my $28 rent, my cell phone bill, my electricity bill, my internet bill, my cat food, the cat's food and cat litter, the birds' food and whatnot, the guinea pigs' food and bedding, with food stamps? Like, yeah, I mean, the guinea pig, I can get him the vegetables and the fruits and stuff, but you can't buy pet bedding with that. You can't buy bird seed with food stamps. You can't buy cat chow with food stamps or cat litter with food stamps. So, what am I having to do? After all these years of not being on the streets and not having to panhandle and fly a sign and ask for help, I have to go out and panhandle. Or sell everything in my apartment just to make ends meet. I mean, come on. Like, it's like, we already knew that the government doesn't care. I mean, how many times does someone have to fall through the cracks in order to make ends meet? Apparently, more than they should have to. I mean, yeah, I'm grateful that we're getting the stimulus checks and stuff, but that doesn't even last very long. I mean, $600 doesn't last very long. I mean, I just used the last of it. I've got $5 left. And that's not even gonna pay for, that's gonna pay for a bottle of coffee creamer. Or like 4 or 5 boxes of Kleenex or something. I mean, I'm not trying to sound ungrateful, and I know that it probably sounds like I am, but I am pissed. I am sick and tired of being taken advantage of. I mean, if I could go out and work a full-time job, I mean, I've got breathing problems from my trach and everything. I have a paralyzed vocal cord. If you see those coffee straws in the gas stations, like, that's what it's like breathing through. In my one side of my throat, where my vocal cords are, my breathing. That's how it's like breathing through a coffee straw. And when I get like bronchitis or laryngitis or something, or I have an upper respiratory like infection, it's 10 times worse. But man, I just don't know. I mean, I'm so frustrated because there's all those organizations out there that offer help and everything, but you either have to have this amount of income, or you have to be in this jurisdiction, or you have to be in this little zone, or this county in order to be assisted. And we don't have any assistance because it was gone within an hour of us opening up our phone lines. I'm at the point where I want to like put a fundraising page up, but at the same time I don't. But I mean, in the end here, I mean, the only thing that I can say is, please don't judge people. please don't judge them that they're lazy and that they don't care and that they don't want to work or they don't want to do this or they don't want to do that. You have no idea what people are dealing with. I mean, before the age of 23, I was healthy and happy and I was working, and all that stuff. And then lupus came along and turned my whole world upside down. And I have hopes and dreams of not being on disability and being able to work and everything. But right now, because of the pandemic, I can't work because it's too much of a health risk for me. So just try to remain compassionate and understanding towards people, because we honestly don't know what people are going through. I mean, we may say that we do, but we don't. I'm going to try and get on here more frequently now that I'm actually wanting to start videotaping again. I just wasn't in the mindset, and I didn't really feel like, I really struggled on getting on here. So I will see you later. I've got a bunch of books that were delivered from the library that I'm going to go sit down on my bed and I'm going to start reading them from front to back. And I will update you as soon as I know anything else. So stay safe, stay sane, well, I don't want to say stay happy. Kindness, compassion, happiness. Embrace the changes to where you can become closer with your families if you have them. I love you. Have a good day. Have a good week. And I will see you next time.